7 years ago, two animal advocates from Sierra Madre created Free Animal Doctor. It's a nonprofit that has raised more than $1 million for sick and injured animals whose owners just can't afford their pets' veterinary bills. Today, Free Animal Doctor has figured out a way to save even more animals at a fraction of the cost, and most importantly, at a fraction of the time. But they just need a little help building it.
Did you know that 70% of the households in the United States own at least one pet? What this tells you is that pets are part of the family unit in the United States. If the owner can't afford their health care, the owner has very few solutions. One would be economic euthanasia. You can put the animal out of its misery for $150 versus raising $5,000 for the animal's health care. That's not a solution in my mind. The other solution would be you can bring it to a rescue or a shelter. That's not a solution either. Many rescues or shelters don't have the financial strength to treat the animal. Depending on the animal's age and the severity of the medical condition, they too would economically euthanize the animal. Our mission is to help sick or injured animals obtain medical care when their owners cannot afford it. The way we chose to do that was through a crowdfunding platform that is the most efficient and economical way of raising money. Every animal we list, every campaign we have is online. Donors can go to our website and pick and choose the animal they wish to support. All the information is there. Pictures of the animal, picture of the animal's injury, a diagnosis from the veterinarian, the estimated cost of care, it's all there. We have raised over $1.5 million and have paid out the same amount for the healthcare costs of over 1,000 animals. It's the best job I've ever had. You know, what's not to like about helping animals and helping their families' units stay intact? Free Animal Doctor accepted its first donation in April of 2016. Neither me nor my business partner had experience in crowdfunding, experience in animal welfare, experience in nonprofit. And over time, we've learned what works with donors, what doesn't work with donors, how to increase donations, and so we've sort of become an expert with this. We've also learned that crowdfunding has some limitations, and these limitations can be severe. It's very difficult in near emergency cases or emergency cases for crowdfunding to be successful. So we sat back and said, well, how are we going to solve this problem? If our mission is to help all animals whose owners can't afford their health care, you can't just do it for those animals where you have the time to raise the money. That's just an unacceptable outcome. And it was at that point in time where I said, the only solution to this problem, it's a simple one, you need to have your own clinic. But of course, that is a difficult thing to achieve when neither Ryan nor I are veterinarians. We don't have the experience. We've never worked for a veterinary office. We've never been in a veterinary office except to bring our dogs in. So it was almost an impossible goal. Who's this guy?
Good morning. This is Malibu.
Malibu. Hey, don't bite me, please. Eventually, I happened to be in San Diego and got to meet the people at SNAP, Spayed Interaction Project. They have several mobile surgical clinics. They had one that they were not using, and I convinced them that we could use that. The track at Santa Anita let me park it there, and we offer low cost and sometimes no cost spay and neuter services depending on circumstances. Our spay and neuter staff, including surgeon, RVTs, and veterinary assistant, all have other jobs. They work for us on a Sunday morning because it's their day off. We have 26 kennel spaces on our bus. They're all full. We'll do 26 animals in about 3 hours. It's an amazing thing to watch. We have spayed or neutered over 2,800 animals. We have repaired roughly 30 hernias. We've repaired or removed about the same number of masses. We've vaccinated, I don't know, 400 or 500 animals. We've done all this only working 1 day a week. These spills are scored so you can cut them in half. You tear them and break them in half. The whole point to this was to gain some experience operating a nonprofit clinic. So now, 2.5 years later, after we've opened the clinic for 2.5 years, if you ask me, do you have experience operating a veterinary clinic? The answer is yes. Okay, so Free Animal Doctor wants to open a full-service nonprofit clinic. And it is going to be similar to this building right here. This is actually a human clinic. This is a building that's comprised of 3 mobile homes side by side in series. We're going to have 4 in series, a total of 2,880 square feet. It's going to be more of a surgical suite than it's going to be anything else. Not going to be open to the public. There's going to be animals that we raise money for or that come to our services. people who need help with their animals' health care, and we're going to provide that care for about 40% of the market. We're going to be able to do it right away, immediately, and now that we control the cost, since we're doing it, we can do it a lot less expensively. We have raised about 7 or 8% of the $1.1 million that we need. About half the money is going to be used for building that building out. The other half of the money is for buying kennels, buying surgical tables, buying surgical lights, buying anesthesia machines. So if you provide the health care when the health care is needed, you almost always have the best outcome. You also minimize the time in which the animal suffers, that they're waiting in pain for you to raise the money. If they have physical limitations, that time passes, goes away because you're providing the animal when the animal needs the health care. And remarkably, there's this other benefit that's almost as important. When we provide the services, we control the costs. If I control the cost, I can provide the care for the least cost possible. That means that I can help more animals for less money. We have more to provide these animals. We have a bigger plan. And when we can provide all manner of care to an animal when that care is needed without having to raise the money first, that's when I will find a sense of accomplishment. What are you doing, big boy?
If you'd like to hear more about Free Animal Doctor, go to freeanimaldoctor.org.